The Muslim Brotherhood and other Islamists are claiming victory in the first round of voting on Egypt's new constitution, but unofficial results show only a razor-thin victory, perhaps 5 or 6% over those in the opposition that voted no. It also appears that millions of Egyptians never made it to the voting booths. Only about a third of eligible voters did in fact vote. Add to that accusations of widespread voting irregularities, and it becomes clear that Egyptians are deeply divided about how they see their political future. Hardline Islamists seem to be lining up on one side, with secularists, minorities, and moderates on the other. Israeli officials, of course, are watching the political uncertainty with great apprehension. Prime Minister Netanyahu was much criticized for warning of an Islamist winter following the Arab Spring, but his concerns today seem less far-fetched. After granting himself sweeping powers, Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi ordered lawmakers to finish writing the country's new constitution, even though many moderate and secular lawmakers had quit. That left the constitution, the new document meant to define the new Egypt, in the hands of a majority of Islamists. The draft constitution seems to fall short of the hopes for a more democratic, just, and free Egypt.
It's an Islamic text. It's going to allow to the Muslim Brothers to introduce Islamic law, the Sharia, into Egypt in a matter of a few months or few years, depends gradually. So as I understand, many in Egypt, and probably the majority, they can't accept it. They are Muslim, they like Islam, they are real believers, but they don't want Allah in their house. You see? So there is a problem, there is a big crisis now in Egypt.
Experts say the Muslim Brotherhood and other Islamists included at least 6 clauses in the constitution that open the door for imposing Islamic or Sharia law. They are spread out over more than 230 sections, some say as an attempt to hide their impact. A basic clause found in most Arab countries states that Sharia is the main source of legislation. Under former President Hosni Mubarak, this was a kind of lip service to religious leaders. Today, the Muslim Brotherhood may act on it.
There is another clause explaining what is the Sharia. It's jurisprudence of all the laws under the Sunnite school. It means that the Sunnite scholar will be really part of the legislation. It cannot be accepted. It's against the Shia, it's against the Jews, it's against the Christians, against everybody. And then it really introduces religion, the Sharia, into the constitution, into the life of Egypt, you see.
Apart from religion, many Egyptians also voted against the draft constitution because they believe it tramples on the rights of women and minorities, especially Coptic Christians, which make up 10% of the country. Not surprisingly, Israel has been dragged into the constitutional debate and maligned. Some imams reportedly told voters that Israelis are conspiring to destroy Egypt by getting people to vote against the new national charter. Attacks on Israel and Jews have only increased following the popular revolution. Experts say the more Islamists control the country, the more dangerous it will become for Israel.
People should understand the basic ideology of the Muslim Brothers is not only Sharia, it is also accompanied by hatred of Israel and by the wish to destroy Israel and also the Jewish people. In the last day of judgment, in the day of judgment, the Jewish people should disappear. They will be killed and destroyed by the Muslims. They write it in their books, and they say it every day in the mosque also, you see? So there is a problem, Many people think the pragmatism will take over. We hope, but we don't believe.
The U.S. and Europe certainly hope pragmatism tempers President Morsi's ideological ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, but so far the Islamists are increasing their hold on Egypt's future. In the second and final round of voting on the constitution next weekend, in more conservative parts of the country, the Islamists will likely seal the deal on their version of the constitution. Most experts predict Egyptians in the opposition won't accept the referendum results sitting down. They're likely to fill Cairo's Tahrir Square again and spark a fresh round of protests and perhaps violence. Jordana Miller, JN1, Jerusalem.